We'll call the regular governing board meeting of the Lammersville Unified School District Board to order at 7 p.m. Please note that this meeting is being recorded at this time. Please take a moment to silence your or turn off your cell phones. And for those of you here that would like to address the board about a specific agenda item and/or during public comment, please fill out a blue comment card so we know when to call upon you. Item 1, Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Olson, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Trustee Olson. Item 2, roll call, please.
Lisa Boulay.
Here.
Colin Clements.
Here.
Benita Daniel.
Absent.
Stephanie Olson.
Here.
David Palmer.
Here.
Satya Seelam.
Here.
Thank you very much. Item 3, approval and/or corrections to the agenda.
We have one item. We're going to amend action item B with the removal of the name Devin Ruby.
Move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
I have, never mind. I had an amendment, but it's on the consent items, so I withdraw my,
All right. Based on a motion by Trustee Olson and a second by Trustee Boulay, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries with 4 ayes, no nays, and 1 absent. Item 4, committee reports. Are there any?
Yes, Policy Committee has something to report on.
Okay.
And I want to say that I'm very excited that we did get our first batch of policies that have come forward after our hiatus for the last few months. So we will be working on those for the next month. That's all I have.
Any other committees to report in? Okay, thank you very much. Item 5, governing board reports. Student board member Satya Seelam.
Tomorrow is senior sunrise at Mountain House High School. All the seniors are super excited to kick off their last year of high school together. And a big thank you to all the senior parents who planned this event. They're organizing breakfast and coffee for all the seniors. And apart from that, I hope everybody has a great first day of school tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Trustee Boulay.
Thank you. I want to welcome our teachers back for another academic year. I know they already had their first day of school this year, and I hope it was great for all of them. Students, of course, will be returning tomorrow for their first day, and I hope that they will be making some great memories tomorrow. Today, I attended the breakfast and recognition ceremony for district staff who have been with us for 5, 10, and 15 years. I attended this along with my fellow board members. And I know a lot of the faces, so it was great to see familiar faces, but it really was nice to meet some new faces and put faces with names of people that work behind the scenes who we don't get to see very often. So it was just an exciting morning with lots of energy, and I think it's going to be a great opening for the year. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Pombo.
yes, on Monday I met with the San Joaquin County builders reps, and they have reached out because they would like to let our high school students know that they have paid internships available in 21 different locations in the building trades. And I have some information for my fellow board members that I will be getting for you. On Tuesday, I attended the awards ceremony at Hanson Elementary, where there were 5 and 10-year pins and certificates handed out, and all of the teachers and staff at Hanson seem ready to go on the school year. I also attended the LUSD District Office Awards this morning, and it was a good turnout, and I enjoyed seeing all the district staff and having breakfast with them. And I too would like to welcome back all of our teachers and students tomorrow and other district staff. Let's have a good school year. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Thank you, Trustee Pombo. Trustee Olson?
Thank you, President Clements. On July 28th, I was at the walkthrough with my freshman daughter, and I just wanted to comment that I think it was so great with our focus on mental health that the counselors were there, allowing students to make course changes before the start of school year. I think that alleviates a lot of stress, and I know that takes extra work and time, and just wanted to give a shout out to that effort because I think it really means a lot to the students to come into their first day of school with peace of mind, knowing that their schedule is what they wanted it to be. And every year the walkthrough just gets better and better. So, this is the way I love about our district is we do something well and then we don't just rest on our laurels. Make it better, even better the next year. On Tuesday, I attended the high school for the recognition of the staff who had worked for 5, 10, or 15 years. And it was such a wonderful event and it's nice to see that we're finally getting staff at the high school that can get those 5-year pins because I know, for a while it was kind of few and far between, but it was nice to see the Learning Commons was packed full of teachers. And I actually stayed until the first break at 10 a.m. and listened to some of the presentations because it was so amazing the information our teachers are getting and the help they're getting and building them up to help build our students up. I was just really impressed with the work that goes on behind the scenes for our students. And today, as was mentioned, I attended the breakfast for the district office employees, and like has been already mentioned, it was great to put faces to people, and the IT department sure looks sharp in the black polos. And I do want to wish everyone a great day tomorrow. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but the first day of school came in like a wrecking ball for me, like boom, it's here. So, with that feeling that I'm sure many people have, notwithstanding that they're working hard and pushing forward to do the best for our students and make this year successful. So I just want to express my sincere appreciation for all the efforts that go unnoticed and unseen behind the scenes here in this office and on all of our campuses for our students, and wish everyone luck and hope there's no criers. Thank you.
I attended the beginning of the year ceremony at Cuesta, where we recognized 5, 10, and 15-year employees. I also visited Mountain House High School that morning and Cordis Elementary very briefly as well, just to say hello. And I also attended the beginning of the year ceremony at the district office. And finally, I wanted to wish teachers, staff, and administrators a fantastic school year. And on behalf of the board, say thank you for everything that you do. You're a fantastic team. Item 6, receiving of public comment. The entire board appreciates hearing from members of the community and public at large. To facilitate this, the board shall give members of the public an opportunity to address the board either before or during the board's consideration of each agenda item, code section 54954.3. At a time so designated on the agenda, members of the public may also bring before the board matters that are not listed on the agenda of a regular meeting. The board may refer such a matter to the superintendent or designee or take it under advisement, but shall not take action at that time. The board may place the matter on an agenda of the subsequent meeting for discussion or action. Is there any, I didn't get any blue cards, is there any public that would like to address the board at this time? Then I will waive the reading of the remainder of the public comment. Item 7, consent items for consideration. A, governing board meeting minutes for the regular meeting of July 20th, 2022, contracts under $50,000. Item B. Item C, ratification of the 2022-2023 new hires. D, ratification of resignations. Would any board member like to pull a specific consent item out for separate discussion and deliberation? Or are there any questions or comments on the consent items?
I would just like to recommend an amendment to the meeting minutes from the last meeting. On item 14, reconvene to open session, it says President Clements reported, and I believe it should say Acting President Olson reported.
Noted.
Thank you. And with that, I will move to approve the consent items as amended.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Olson, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries with 4 ayes, no nays, and 1 absent. Trustee Olson, as the board clerk, would you do the honors?
Yes. We'd like to welcome the following new hires to the Lammersville Unified School District family. Zaiba Ali, biology teacher. Crystal Browning, learning commons technician. Karina Cantu, school psychologist. Timothy Cronin, high school counselor. Lori Elquez, self-contained classroom teacher. Melissa Hartfordson, high school staff secretary. Kirsten Hilton, music teacher. Darcy Ho, self-contained classroom teacher. Shara King, English teacher. Vidya Kutnikar, noon duty supervisor. Morgan Lytle, social science teacher. Ricardo Martinez, coordinator of special education. Benjamin Ortega, high school custodian / security 3. Damon Owens, custodian 2. Esther Pedroza, high school custodian, security 3. Claudine Perez, instructional aide. Crystal Rudicino, elementary office supervisor. Norman Segovia, custodian 1. Renuka Sheet, self-contained classroom teacher. Brant Silva, biology teacher. And Diana Villagomez, school secretary 1.
Welcome. Item 8, district administrative reports. A, superintendent's report, staff report.
Yes, I want to share with the board and the community. We we have a video montage sequence to celebrate our year 5, year 10, year 15 plus employees, and we want to thank Noel for putting this together to share. So again, it's a special place to be. We take great pride in doing the best we can to make an environment where people want to send their kids and where people want to work and spend their career, and some special people that we get to honor every year. And every year we have a video like this, so it's kind of fun with 550 plus staff members. This will be a tradition that is really a positive way to start out the year. And speaking of positives, I want to call out a couple of our leaders with some thank yous. So Trustee Olson just read off a plethora of names and new staff. So we have a relatively new Director of Human Services, or Human Resources, Sarah Barrios. And she and her team have been sprinting nonstop for the better part of a month. It is a shortage upon a shortage where people vacillate and paperwork has got to be chased and references done. They have done an admirable job in an era where it's difficult to fill staff positions, and with the exception of a couple little places here and there throughout the 550 positions that we have, we are in a really good shape to start the school year. So we want to thank Sarah and her team. So we'll give her a... And then I want to thank our Student Services Department because almost like as a relay race works, Sarah ran the first lap of an 800-meter race and passed the baton off to Student Services and Director Bustatil and her team. I want to call out Christy and April from Student Services, who have been really for the last 4 months, but as with all summers, there's a crunch at the end with all the paperwork and processing of applications and placement of students, which is very complicated. So I wanted to kind of give an update to the board about some relative things related to our enrollment process. I also want to shout out our district receptionist, who is also relatively new. And I think we're one of the few school districts in the state who have a football coach who was seconds as a district receptionist. So he has fielded an awful lot of phone calls with people wanting to know this and that. So, and been very professional. So in a typical year, in our past, we field about 600 enrollment applications. And I'm going to steal a word from Irene she used today. And over COVID, there was a period of stasis where people were staying put and things were not frozen in time, but melting from a glacier frozen in time. And what we would like to think is a post-COVID beginning to a school year, stasis has become active. And so from 600 enrollment application processes to more than 1,200, that the movement, we wonder where all these people are who are building all these houses. Everybody has shown up, and they continue to show up. And so what does that do? It puts a stress on the system, and when you double the amount of processes. April and Christy have been done a yeoman's work of taking on a new process, a centralized process here at the district. And what we found out is all the things we wanted to solve and clean up, which is accuracy in the system and getting information out to the school sites so the proper amount of this goes there and a proper amount of that goes there, has been very effective. We have learned some things in the large version of our district now with 7,400 kids starting tomorrow. So a couple of things we've learned is our early enrollment incentive, which began last spring, was a glorious success. I think it was for TKK. We passed out summer workbook processes for the kids. It was very popular, and the request coming back from the school sites was, please do it for more age groups. For us, it was, please enroll early so we can get everything organized as quickly as possible. Also, what we've learned is in some cases, what we think, and we have to prove this statistically over time, but there seems to be multiple families living in single homes, which is a new trend in our district, and not because of poverty per se. We don't know why, but it is in certain villages, in particular in the South, it's driving numbers to be larger than what you can anticipate. If you have two families with their children in one dwelling, whether it's a cosita or whatever the arrangement is, you're not going to be able to predict an accurate number. So we have seen a trend in the south part of our community, in the villages there, of larger numbers than what has been a very accurate prediction of student population generation by village for 20 plus years in our community. We're learning that people moving from the East Bay worked with big school systems with enrollment systems that are different from ours, and some assumptions were made by families in the way it worked because they were used to one system. So we're going to think about how we can better communicate to people who are coming over the hill to live in our community, so that there is a better understanding of our specific processes to get to, we have everything we need so we can put your child's name in our system. We also, one of the key things, and people don't understand this, is you can't just take a name on faith in California. There's regulations. That there are certain pieces of documentation we have to follow the law, the ed code, the rules, and to be appropriate to a proper setting at a school site. So some of the most common issues we're finding with the enrollment process, which has caused delays for some people's children to be put into the system, are immunization records. So for families out there who move into our community or who are having children, that are getting ready to be school aides, get those immunizations done as early as possible. Get that card, know where it's at, because we're going to need it. You can't enter school without it. Birth certificates, I think I sort of know where mine is. I think it's in a folder somewhere in a box, right? But enrolling your children in school, we got to have the paperwork. So something to be thinking about if your children are going in or people you talk to is the birth certificate needs to be turned in. The third thing is proof of residency. And this is really important because you can't just come in and say, well, I live in Village X. You got to show it. And in our community, one of the flaws, and there are very few flaws to the master plan, but one of the flaws is we do everything we can to keep people from the village in the village school. Dynamics happen, and certain circumstances don't allow that to happen always or exclusively, but proof of residency takes time to prove. And so we need people to recognize that they need to come in with that. When we have an enrollment application that does not have those things, staff kicks it back, and there's an engagement back and forth to make sure we have everything we need. And why that's important is time passes, and some people we have to do more than one communication with. That creates last people at the end. And there's a bottleneck at the end, as always, with every school year. And so we want to avoid those bottlenecks if at all possible. And then finally, at the end of the summer, when school's about to start, there is a turnover. There's the putting them in the computer, but then you got to translate that into, we need about 24 hours for the teacher to be ready to embrace a new child to their classroom. We can't have a classroom where everything's prepared for X amount of kids, and a couple of other kids show up and they have nothing prepared for them. So in general, it's a 24-hour process. So for anything that we can do to organize our system and communicate our system well, we will do. And then from the community, what we really ask is people understand and are prepared with those things. I wanted you to know that going into this enrollment season coming to an end, and we will communicate that obviously in the spring. But those are some hiccups that come along the way where people just don't know. They think it's as simple as, here's my kid, put him in the computer, give me what I need, and move on. But it's way more complicated. So full circle. Sarah Barrios and HR have done an incredible job of getting a massive number of people identified and all the paperwork that comes with it. And conversely, Director Busatil and her team, in particular Christy and April, have done the same for student enrollment at double the scale. So we want to thank everybody. Not perfect, but it's
We
been a
haven't
heck of an
clapped
effort.
yet for Sarah, for Director Busatil and her team.
Mr. President, that is my presentation.
Can I just comment? I remember last year, probably around this time, we had asked on our LUSD website that there is a page about facts and things like that. There is a section that, as I was looking through our website earlier, there's a section that has important information for new families, and some of the things are, what do I need to enroll? What immunizations do my students need for admission? What is the timeline? So I think a lot of those, I didn't click on everything, I didn't check for accuracy, but I think a lot of those pieces are on our website. So at least that's a start, so.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nicholas. Item B, quarterly report on Williams uniform complaints, April 15, 2022 through July 2022. Staff report.
There are none.
Item C, district maintenance and operations report. Mr. Legrand.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. I have a very brief report, mostly because I'm tired. I didn't want to type a lot, so but here I am anyways. So our deep clean wrapped up the week of the Friday the 22nd, and last week staff was focusing on cleaning the outside of the schools, getting ready for tomorrow. The two biggest projects at our last meeting were the gyms. At the high school, we finished the main gym on the 21st, Thursday the 21st, and finished the small gym last Tuesday on the 26th. And as I mentioned, school starts tomorrow. I was at the breakfast recognition this morning. Was able to introduce my staff to everybody. Also this morning, I met with the new VP at Mountain House High School. Had a list of facilities issues, things they want done over there. We agreed to meet every other week throughout the whole school year, one-on-one meetings. So yesterday, we went to the county office and picked up somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,000 COVID tests and delivered them to Irene, so she could do with them as she needs throughout the school year. Last Friday, Thor and I had our quarterly Zoom meeting with our grounds company, for what that's worth. And then on Tuesday the 26th, I was doing the Williams facilities walks with the county rep at Cordis and Altamont. There were no findings at Cordis. There were a couple little things at Altamont that we're working on fixing, nothing major. Nothing really new to report on solar. It's on at the 5 sites I mentioned last meeting: Altamont, Bethany, Wickland, Lammersville, and Hanson. I was still waiting on the parts to come in for the high school, still waiting on the parts to come in for Cuesta. I've been attending the Costa construction meetings. I attended a meeting last Wednesday. The next meeting is coming up on August 10th. As I mentioned last meeting, they're doing all their underground work. You should see some building pads come in mid to late this month, so that'll be good news. And staffing update, we're interviewing this Friday for our 3 fuller positions. We had 2 people going through the hiring process. One person didn't want it about halfway through the process. Another person cleared and quit the first day. So he was at the high school and he walked out, didn't make the full shift, about 6 hours, and he tossed his keys and he's out of here. So all you can do is laugh, right? So we're going to try and fill those positions on Friday and try and get 3 people. And then we also have to fill our warehouse position and our warehouse/custodian position. He was promoted into grounds. He's still doing his current position until we find a replacement for him. So as it stands, we're at 4 openings to start the school year mañana. That's all I have. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Legrand.
Thank you much.
Item 9, action items. A, consider approval of 2022-2023 inter-district transfer requests. By tradition, there is no staff report.
Move to approve the 2022-2023 inter-district transfer requests.
Second.
Based upon a motion by trustee Boulay and a second by trustee Olson, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries with 4 ayes, no nays, and 1 absent. Item B, consider approval to hire certificated employees on the basis of a variable term waiver. Staff report?
Yes, we recommend that the board approve this for number 2 as amended, with the other one being removed.
Move to approve hiring certificated employees on the basis of variable term waiver as amended.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Olson and a second by trustee Boulay, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries with 4 ayes, no nays, and 1 absent. Item C, consider approval to proceed with design and construction of temporary portable classroom, Mountain House High School, estimated total cost $610,000. Staff report?
Yes, C, D, and E are all related. They were interwoven, and I have unwoven them. And so I'm going to try to make it make sense, but all are necessary. So for item C, this is the design and construction just specific to the portable classrooms, which would associate with things like fees, state bureaucracy, the prep, and all of action item E. We recommend approval.
Move to approve the proceed with design and construction of temporary portable classrooms at Mountain House High School, estimated total cost of $610,000.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Boulay and a second by trustee Pombo, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries with 4 ayes, no nays, and 1 absent. Item D, consider approval of amendment to the architectural services agreement with Nichols, Melberg, and Rossetto for interim housing portables and classroom addition at Mountain House High School. Additional cost $738,500 with the staff report included in item C. Did you have additional?
With more details coming,
Sorry.
just to make it clear, this is an amendment to an existing contract tied to the work, the construction, design, and management of the Costa project. And we're adding this, the interim portable housing work and the classroom addition at Mountain House High School to that at the cost of $78,500. Recommend.
38.
$738, sorry. Recommend approval.
Move to, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, trustee Pombo.
Move to approve amendment to the architectural services agreement with Nichols, Melberg, and Rossetto for interim housing portables classroom addition at Mountain House High School. Additional cost $738,500.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Olson, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes, no nays, and 1 absent. Item E, consider approval of agreement with Mobile Modular for 6 portables at Mountain House High School not to exceed $99,708. Additional clarifications?
Yes, this is just the easiest one. It's to bring them in and to bring them out, or take them out. We recommend approval.
Before we move ahead on item E, I would like to ask a clarifying question on item D, which I should have done before we voted on it, but I did not. The lion's share of this architectural, the $738,500, the lion's share of that would be for design of the addition to Mountain House High School.
That is correct.
Rather than the portables.
Correct. It's by percentage of the construction cost.
Okay, that was my assumption, but I thought I would get it clarified. And with that, I will move to approve the agreement with Mobile Modular for 6 portables at Mountain House High School not to exceed $99,708.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Boulay, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes, no nays, and 1 absent. Item 10, calendar. On Thursday, August 4th, 2022, tomorrow, first day, instructional day of the 2022-2023 school year. Item B, Wednesday, August 17th is the next regularly scheduled governing board meeting at 7 o'clock here in the district boardroom. Item C, Thursday, August 25th, 2022, is the District English Language Advisory or DLAC Committee at 6:30 here in the district boardroom.
Correct.
In a few minutes, we will be adjourning to closed session where we will be discussing the following. A, public employee discipline dismissal release complaint, Government Code Section 54957. B, student discipline and other confidential matters, Ed Code Sections 35146, 48900, and 48912B for 2 students. Item C, conference with real property negotiators, Government Code Section 54956.8. Item D, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9. Item E, public employee appointment, employment evaluation superintendent, Government Code Section 54357.6. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move
Move
to
to-
adjourn to closed session.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Olson and a second by trustee Pombo, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries with 4 ayes, no nays, and 1 absent. We are now adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Reconvening to open session from closed session at 8:43 PM. During closed session, on closed session item B1, student discipline or other confidential matters, Education Code Sections 35146, 48900, and 48912B. On student expulsion number 21-22-01, the board took action on a motion by trustee Pombo and second by trustee Boulay to approve staff recommendation of a student readmission after expulsion of student number 21-22-01 for the 2022-2023 school year by the following vote: 4 ayes, no noes, 1 absent, no abstentions. On closed session item B2, student discipline and other confidential matters, Education Code Sections 35146, 48900, and 48912B, on student expulsion number 21-22-15, the board took action on a motion by trustee Pombo and seconded by trustee Olson to approve staff recommendation for the suspended expulsion of student number 21-22-15 for violation of Board Policy 5131 and Education Code 48900N and 48915C4 for the fall 2022-2023 semester by the following vote: 4 ayes, no noes, 1 absent, no abstentions. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Boulay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are now adjourned.
46.